what does an integrated physician workforce strategy then actually look like in practice, right? Beyond just, okay, we have a vacancy that needs to get filled. We have a shift that needs to get filled.
Yeah, you're going to hear strategy a lot today. Every time we say it, put a penny in a jar, just be rich by the end of the call. But in practice, it means treating all physician resources as one ecosystem. Chris stole my buzzword, so props to you, sir. But locums, permanent physicians, internal coverage, and advanced practice providers, they're all planned together using shared data and clear priorities. Instead of asking, like if I'm a physician leader, instead of asking, how do I fill this shift? Leaders need to start asking what staffing mix from that talent pool I mentioned best supports a service line over the next 12 to 24 months. And typically we see them evaluate that in 3 buckets. It's clinically, operationally, and financially.
Again, it comes back to what we've touched on earlier, what Jenna touched on earlier again too, is seeing this as a whole, from a holistic perspective, right? To be able to react to some of these. Chris, I'd love to tap on your operational expertise and your experience with operations in and of itself when you're looking at this too. What does an integrated physician workforce strategy then look like in practice?
Yeah, so I think it's really important, in my experience, to develop a relationship with specific locum physicians is extremely helpful. We have really had some talented locums that we would have actually hired, would have loved to hire them full-time, permanent, but they actually chose the locum lifestyle for a variety of reasons. And it goes back to what I said earlier. There are shifts in the industry that are really generational shifts where physicians are choosing to be locums, to travel, a whole host of reasons. So I would really recommend that all of us rethink how we are using locums, as was Janet said earlier, incorporate them into your group as a member. And the best scenario is, if they're going to be there for a sustained period of time, then really treat them as they are part of your group. And I think that is why the sustainability of a long-term assignments and are extremely important. I really like to find, a locum that, meets our culture, has good quality, good patient experience. And then really, I want to contract with them for a long period of time and really integrate them into our group and what we're doing. I also think, the long-term assignments to meet those needs that you may have really help with continuity of care for patients, and also assimilating into the organization. And, from an operations perspective, I know a lot of times we're trying to fill needs on a schedule. We have openings on a schedule. We're trying to move pieces around to meet that schedule. The best scenario would be to have, as limited amount of variation in providers, physicians as possible. Ideally 1, 2, that you're alternating days and so forth would really be the best scenario.